The old man brought out a small rusted lantern. Its glass was dirty. Its metal body was eaten by age. It looked useless.
This is the lamp of the midnight harvest. Every minute the flame burns, money will fall at your feet. The lamp does not use kerosene, it uses time, human time. It borrows from someone who shares your blood, someone who loves you. Can I stop anytime?
The old man nodded.
The lamp is patient.
That was the lie that finished him. Obinna Eze was not a madman. He was a spear path trader in Ladipo, a quiet man, a husband, a father, the kind of man who apologizes even when life is the one that offended him. He lived in Surulere with his wife, Chika, and their 4-year-old daughter, Adaobi. Their room was small, too small for 3 human beings. 1 tired mattress, 2 plastic chairs, 1 stove, and all the worries of Lagos. The ceiling had cracks like old scars. When rain fell, the roof did not protect them. It negotiated. That night, rain came down with anger. Drip, drip, drip. Water started falling directly on the mattress. Chika woke up first. She always woke up first. Some women sleep, but their suffering stays awake. She moved the mattress gently so Adaobi would not wake. She placed the bucket under the leak. Then she sat beside the kerosene lamp and opened a small notebook. Bread, sugar, kerosene, school fees, rent, medicine. She crossed one thing out, wrote another, crossed that one too. My people, poverty is not just lack of money. Poverty is when your wife becomes an accountant of hunger. Poverty is when every small need stands in front of you like a giant. Obinna lay there pretending to sleep, but his eyes were open. He watched Chika fight numbers that refused to obey. He wanted to say, "I am sorry." But how many times can a man say sorry before sorry becomes an empty thing? In the morning, Adaobi woke up holding a yellow stuffed dog. 1 button eye was missing. But to Adaobi, that dog was still royalty. "Mommy," she said, "Ducky is hungry." Chika smiled, tired but soft. "What does Ducky want?" "Bread, but remove the brown part." Chika looked at the half loaf on the table. That bread was supposed to last 2 more days. Still, she cut a slice, removed the crust, gave it to Adaobi. Adaobi fed the dog first, then ate the bread herself. Obinna stood by the door and watched. His shop had not sold one serious item in 2 weeks. The landlord was calling. School fees were waiting. His wife was cutting bread for a toy so their daughter would not understand hunger too early. Something cracked inside him. That afternoon, he went to sit with Mama Chidinma, the old woman in their compound who sold akara by the road. Her hands were rough from hot oil. Her eyes were old enough to know when trouble was standing behind the man. "Obinna," she said, "you look like sleep rejected you." "I am fine, Mama." She laughed softly. A poor man's "I am fine" is usually a cry wearing clothes. "Sit down." He sat. After some silence, he said, "Mama, I need money." Mama Chidinma looked at him for a long time. Then she said, "There are 2 kinds of money. The one that comes with the sun and the one that comes with the moon. Sun money is slow. It will make you sweat, but it will not bite your children. Moon money shines fast, but it is cold, and anything cold for too long becomes a corpse." Obinna frowned. I don't understand. Mama nodded. You will understand when temptation starts speaking English. My people, elders do not talk. Sometimes they are building a fence around a pit you have not yet seen. But Obinna did not hear a warning. He only heard one word. Money. December came, and Obinna traveled to the village for the Umunna meeting. You know December in Igbo land. Every man comes home to show what the year has done for him. Some come with cars, some come with wives, some come with silence. Obinna came with a pressed shirt that was tied at the collar. He sat at the back, where men without money sit. Nobody told him to sit there. Poverty has a way of showing you your chair. Then Kelechi arrived. Ha! Kelechi. His black Prado entered the compound like a governor had landed. 2 mobile policemen came down first. Then Kelechi stepped out in a cream agbada shining with gold embroidery. Rings on his fingers, perfume announcing him before his mouth opened. The elders stood up. Odogu! Everybody shouted. Everybody laughed. Obinna watched from the back. The meeting started. They were discussing the community hall. The roof was leaking. The benches were broken. The cost was too high. Obinna raised his hand. I have a suggestion, he said. If we buy materials from Nwankwo market and use local carpenters, we can reduce the cost. Some elders nodded. Then Kelechi laughed. Not small laugh. The kind of laugh that removes a man's shirt in public. Obinna, he said. When men are talking, boys should keep quiet. The whole compound went silent. Kelechi leaned forward. You cannot feed your wife. Last month you were begging in the family WhatsApp group for 20,000 naira. 20,000! I spent that on diesel before breakfast. Then he brought out a bundle of cash and threw it at Obinna's feet. The money scattered in the dust. Pick it, Kelechi said. Buy soap. Wash your poverty before you advise people with money. Some young men laughed. The elders looked away. That is one thing about this world. When a poor man is insulted, people call it joke. But when a rich man is foolish, people call it wisdom. Obinna looked at the money. He did not pick it. He stood up and walked out. Behind him, Kelechi shouted, he is refusing free money. Poverty still has pride. More laughter followed Obinna down the road. He walked for miles in the dark. Tears came hot into his eyes. He remembered Shika moving the mattress under rain. He remembered Adaobi feeding bread to a dog. He remembered every time people spoke over him because his pocket was empty. Then one terrible thought entered his heart. A good poor man is a joke. A wicked rich man is a chief. And that night, Obinna decided he was tired of being a joke. When Obinna returned to Lagos, he did not go back to his shop. He told Chika, I am chasing one business opportunity. Chika nodded. She trusted him. That trust was the first thing he betrayed. For 2 weeks, Obinna moved through the hidden corners of Lagos. Back bars in motion, beer parlors where men lower their voices when the real talk begins, places where the fans are slow, the lights are weak, and secret seats on plastic chairs. That was where he met Nwankwo. Nwankwo sat alone at a wooden table, staring at his hands. Those hands were not normal. Car tissue covered them from wrist to finger. Old burns, deep burns, the kind of burns that tell you fire once argued in the flesh and won. Obinna sat opposite him. I heard you know about money that does not come from bank or business. Obinna said. Nwankwo did not look up. Go home. But I need your help. No, you need sense. Go home and hug your wife. Obinna swallowed. I cannot go home empty-handed. Nwankwo finally raised his eyes. You are looking for the lamp. Obinna's heart jumped. Nwankwo brought out an old photograph. A woman, 2 children, all smiling. This was my family, he said. Before I found it. What happened to them? Obinna asked. Nwankwo put the photograph away. I am still looking for them. The room became cold. The old man in the swamp will not tell you the flame is fear, Nwankwo said. He will say it takes only from those who are old, those already near the grave. He will speak softly, like a pastor at burial. Do not believe him. Obinna leaned closer. Then why did you use it? Nwankwo smiled with joy. Because the first time, the money falls like a miracle. The second time, your conscience will complain, but you will buy its gala and tell it to keep quiet. By the third time, even if your own shadow starts crying, you will still be counting bundles. He stood up. Go home, Obinna. Hunger is painful, but some meals are cooked with the bones of your own house. Then he left. Obinna sat there alone. My people, when a warning has entered your ear and you still continue, what follows is no longer a mistake, it is an agreement. That night, Obinna went to the swamp. The canoe moved through the Ijebu creeks after midnight. The water was black, not like ordinary darkness, but like something alive was hiding underneath. Mangrove roots reached into the river like crooked fingers. The air smelled of rotten leaves, wet wood, and secrets that had overstayed their welcome. The guy did not talk. He only paddled. After a long time, they reached a small hut standing beside the riverbank. Inside the hut sat an old blind man. No skulls, no red clothes, no drama. Just one old man on a mat. But when Obinna entered, the blind man turned his white eyes directly to him. You have come for the heavy blessing, the old man said. I want wealth, Obinna replied. His voice shook. I am tired of being nobody. The old man smiled like a kind grandfather. That is how it starts. Sit. Obinna sat. The old man brought out a small rusted lantern, a fitila. Its glass was dirty. Its metal body was eaten by age. It looked useless. This is the lamp of the midnight harvest, the old man said. At midnight, lock yourself alone. Light the wick. Every minute the flame burns, morning will fall at your feet. Obinna stared at the lamp. What is the price? The old man's smile did not move. The lamp does not use kerosene. It uses time. Human time. It borrows from someone who shares your blood. Someone who loves you. Obinna's body went cold. But do not fear, the old man continued. The lamp is merciful. It chooses the life that has been fully lived. The whole leaf must fall so the young tree can grow. My people, listen. Evil does not always shout. Sometimes evil wears white and speaks gently. Sometimes it gives you a proverb. Obinna should have stood up. He should have thrown that lamb into the river. But he was thinking of Kelechi's laughter. He was thinking of Chika's notebook. was thinking of Adaobi's bread. So he asked, "Can I stop anytime?" The old man nodded. "The lamp is patient." That was the lie that finished him. He reached Surulere close to midnight. Chika and Adaobi were asleep on the mattress. Adaobi held a yellow dog under her chin. Obinna stood and watched them. "Daddy will fix everything," he whispered. Then he carried the lamp into the bathroom and locked the door. At exactly 12 o'clock a.m., he struck a match. The wick caught, but the flame was not yellow. It was blue. Deep blue. Ancient blue. The kind of blue you see in the dreams that should not be remembered. The bathroom became cold immediately. Obinna waited. 10 seconds. 20. And then, third. A fresh bundle of 1,000 naira notes dropped on the wet tiles. Obinna froze. Another one. Another one. My people, if you have never been poor, do not judge too quickly. Money falling from nowhere can sound like angels singing when your rent is overdue. Obinna knelt down. He touched the notes. Real, fresh, plenty. He told himself, just 10 minutes. So he waited for 10 minutes. When he blew out the flame, more than 1 million naira was on the floor. The next morning, Obinna became a new husband. He paid rent 1 year ahead. He bought rice, meat, provisions, clothes for Adaobi, and a new phone for Chika. Chika cried in the market. "Obinna, where did this money come from?" "Business," he said. "A supplier remembered me." Chika hugged him tightly. "I knew God will answer us," she whispered. Obinna hugged her back, but something inside him stepped away. 2 days later, his phone rang. His uncle from the village. "Obinna, Mama is gone. She died in her sleep." His mother, 84 years old. Obinna sat down slowly. The room moved around him. Then the lies began to arrange themselves. She was old. She did not suffer. The lamp is merciful. It only took dry leaves. But guilt sat on his chest like a stone. And what did he do with that guilt? He waited 1 week. Then he lit the lamp again. This time, for 2 hours. The rise of Obinna Eze was not gradual. It exploded. In 6 months, the man who used to beg landlords was now living in Lekki. 5-bedroom duplex. Marble floors. Black G-Wagon. Watches that would pay school fees for a whole compound. Men who once ignored his calls now saved his number as chairman. "Chairman, good morning. Chairman, we need your advice. Chairman, please bless us." My people, money is a dangerous perfume. Once you wear it, even people who hate you will say you smell nice. But not everybody was clapping. Chika's younger sister, Amara, came to visit and walked through the new house quietly. She touched the furniture, looked at the marble, looked at Obinna. Then she asked, "Where did this money come from?" "Business," Obinna said. "What business?" "A supply contract." "With who?" "Amara. Must you interrogate me in my own house?" She stood up slowly. "My sister loves you. That is why she is blind. I am not blind. I am watching you." She left. Obinna laughed it off. But 1 month later, his elder brother collapsed at the bus stop. 49 years old. Dead just like that. Heart failure, they said. Obinna buried him like a king. Canopies, cows, music, food for the whole village. When he stepped down from the G-Wagon, the same elders who ignored him before rushed to greet him. Chairman has come! Obinna, our son! They bowed, they smiled, they praised. Across the compound, Kelechi stood quietly. No laughter this time. Obinna tasted respect, and it was sweet. But later that night, in his big bedroom, the sweetness turned bitter. His brother was not old, 49 years. The lamp was not picking dry leaves. It was cutting green branches. He opened the safe, looked at the lamp, and whispered, "Never again." And for 1 year, he meant it. He became a husband again. He became a father again. He watched Adaobi start school. She was 5 now, talking too much, laughing too loudly, still carrying that yellow dog as if it had shares in that family. At night, Chika sang her Igbo lullaby, the one about the little bird finding its nest. Adaobi would sleep. Obinna would stand at the doorway and watch them. For a while, he believed the storm had passed. But if you keep a snake in a safe, it is still a snake. The hunger returned in Ikoyi. Obinna attended a dinner filled with old money men, oil men, property men, men whose grandfathers had bank accounts before other people had shoes. Obinna wore a designer suit and a heavy watch. But among them, he still felt like the poor man at the back of the Umunna meeting. He tried to speak about a land deal. Chief Olowo raised his hand without looking at him. "Eze," the chief said, "you are still a small boy. Wait for your turn." The table chuckled. A small laugh opened an old wound. Suddenly, Obinna was back in the dust. Kelechi's money at his feet. Men laughing, elders looking away. The next morning, Temptation arrived wearing a business proposal. Prime commercial land on Banana Island. A desperate politician wanted to sell. Cheap. But he wanted 1 billion naira cash in 24 hours. 1 billion. If Obinna got it, nobody will call him small boy again. Chief Olowo will be the one calling him sir. He paced his study like a trapped animal. "My assets are tied up," he muttered. "Just one night. Just this last time." Beware of that statement. Just one last time. That sentence has buried many men. The drunkard says it. The thief says it. The gambler says it. At midnight, Obinna unlocked the safe. He struck the match. The blue flame rose. Cold filled the room. The first bundle fell. The second became music. 1 hour passed. 2 hours. 3. Money climbed around the desk. It covered the rug. It reached the walls. Obinna sat in his leather chair, sweating in the freezing cold, laughing softly. He was no longer thinking of grandmothers. He was no longer thinking of brothers. He was thinking of Banana Island. He was thinking of Chief Olowo. He was thinking of the world untouchable. Then, from down the hallway, he heard a cough. Small at first, then louder. Chika screamed, "Obinna!" The laugh died in his throat. "Obinna, come! It is Adaobi. She is not breathing." The old man's words returned, naked now without sweet wrapper. "Someone who loves you." Obinna ran to the lamp and blew. The flame did not move. It blew again. Harder. Nothing. Obinna! Chika screamed. Blood is coming from her nose. Open this door. He grabbed a book and smashed it over the lamp. The book caught fire. Blue light shone through the burning pages. He poured water. The water hissed into steam. The flame got bigger. Take me! Obinna shouted. Take my own life. Leave my child. But the lamp did not negotiate. So Obinna grabbed it with both hands. The metal was hotter than wickedness. His flesh burned immediately. The smell filled the room. He screamed, but he did not let go. He lifted the lamp and smashed it against the wall. The glass scattered. Metal bent. But the blue flame floated in the air by itself, burning on nothing. 3 final bundles dropped. Then the flame went out. The room became dark. Obinna opened the doors with hands that no longer looked like hands. He ran to Adaobi's room. Chika was on the floor, holding their daughter. Adaobi's body was still, her eyes closed. A yellow dog lay beside her, one button eye missing, looking up as if it too was asking why. Chika was not crying. There's a level of pain that forgets tears. She was rocking Adaobi gently and singing the lullaby. But the song was broken. The notes came out wrong. Like something inside her had cracked and was leaking music. Obinna fell to his knees. He touched his daughter's face with burnt hands. Cold. The scream that came out of him did not sound human. My people, that was the night Obinna became rich enough to buy anything, except the only thing he wanted back was gone. They buried Adaobi in the village 2 weeks later. No band, no spraying money, no G-Wagon pride. Just a small white coffin, red dust, and a mother whose eyes had become empty. Kelechi came. He stood at the back. He did not laugh. He did not mock. Even wicked men know when sorrow is bigger than insult. After the burial, Obinna returned to Lagos with money piled in his study like a silent accusation. He could not spend it. To spend it would mean accepting the trade. So he packed the bundles into a Ghana must-go bag and went to the trade fair market. That was where people first saw him kneeling in the dirt. Take it, he begged strangers. Please, take all of it. Just take it so she can wake up. Nobody took it. Day after day, he returned. The rich man became a market ghost. At home, Chika stopped speaking. She sat in Adaobi's room holding the yellow dog. Amara came every day with food. Chika did not touch it. One evening, Obinna came back from the market. His bandages were soaked with blood. He found Chika sitting on the floor. For a long time, they said nothing. Then Chika whispered, "Do you remember a song?" Obinna closed his eyes. "She always asked me to sing it," Chika said. "Even when she was sleeping, even when she knew the words, she just wanted to hear my voice." She looked at him then, not with anger. That would have been easier. She looked at him with a kind of sorrow that has no door. She was the best part of this house, Obinna. He broke. He fell forward and wept into his wife's lap. Chika did not push him away, but she did not forgive him either. That night, Obinna entered the study and looked at the remaining money. The lamp was broken on the floor, but the cause was not inside the lamp anymore. It was inside him. The next morning, he carried the money to the hospital. Pediatric ward. Mothers were sitting on benches, holding sick children. begging nurses with tears in their throats. Children were coughing. Some were too weak to cry. Obinna walked to the first mother and gave her a bundle. "Use it for your child," he said. The woman stared at his burnt hands. "Is it safe?" she whispered. Obinna swallowed. "The money is money. I am the cause. Please take it before my sorrow wastes it." The woman took it and began to cry. He went to the next mother, and then the next, and the next. By evening, the Ghana must-go bag was empty. Some children received treatment that day. Some others blessed him. Some called him an angel. But Obinna knew better. An angel does not arrive after killing his own child. Weeks passed. Obinna moved out of Lekki. He returned to a small place in Surulere with a roof that did not leak. He started selling spare parts again, one item at a time. Chika started frying akara by the roadside, just like Mama Chidinma. Above a small stove, on a wooden shelf, sat the yellow dog. Some nights, Chika sang Lullaby again. Not loudly, not happily, but not broken like before. Obinna would stand by the doorway and listen with his burnt hands hanging at his sides. He never told her the full story. So what is the lesson, my people? Money is good. Nobody should lie to you. Poverty is painful. Poverty can embarrass a man in front of people who are not better than him. But not every open door is a blessing. Some doors are traps. And some money does not enter your house alone. It enters with sickness. It enters with graves. It enters with silence at the dining table. Would you give up wealth for your family? What lesson did Obinna Eze's story teach you? Share your thoughts below. Obinna wanted respect from the world, but he lost the voice that called him daddy. If this story touched you, share it with someone who thinks shortcuts are free. Because the devil does not give discounts. He only delays the receipt. And when it comes to collect, he never collects more.